Hello, Cub. I'm Silas Rayne. Today I'm going to tell you about 4 rules, but we won't get to the rules just yet. Because first, you need to open your eyes. You're on a stage, Cub, a massive stage, with massive lights, and a massive lie playing out in front of you. A script, memorized by millions of men just like you, and most of them aren't living their lives. We're acting, we're performing. You, me, the whole crowd. But the difference is, you think this play is real. You take everything far too seriously. So much so, you've mistaken your mask for your face. You've memorized the role the system gave you, and now you're on the stage, without even realizing it. Who are you performing for, Cub? Your boss? Your parents? That woman you're desperate to impress? You want applause, you crave approval, and for that, you perform yourself. But here's the truth. The role you're playing isn't yours. This isn't your story. It's a script written for you. And you're just an extra. You tried to resist the soft men around you, tried to prove you weren't like them. But here's what you didn't see. That soft aura, it already swallowed you whole. You thought you were fighting the system, but the system had already won. When you signed your first student loan, when you signed your first lease, when you made your first car payment, when you struggled to pay your kids' school bills, every step dragged you deeper into the swamp. And that swamp, it was sold to you as heaven. Work harder, they said. Be good enough, and one day they'll notice you. But deep down, you know the truth. This is not your story. In fact, it's nobody's story. It's an illusion, designed, programmed, and mass-produced. The real stories? They're hidden, locked away, stuffed in the back of dusty shelves, kept out of sight. So you'd never remember. Why are so many men living someone else's life? Why do they settle for roles written by others? Because no man was raised to write his own story. You weren't either, Cub. A teacher, an uncle, a mother. They gave you their fears. And with those fears, you built a path. But that path was never your choice. So here's the real question. Have you ever truly been yourself? Or have you lived your whole life just to be quiet, just to be praised? And when the praise runs dry, what's left? When the stage goes dark, when the roles are gone, what keeps you standing there, Cub? Let me tell you, the system wrote you a character, and it was carefully designed to keep you average. Obedient boy, responsible man, success-chasing male. They told you, get good grades, go to a good school, find a good job, buy a house, get married, have children. And you did. Congratulations. You played the role perfectly. But you still feel empty, don't you? That strange ache in your chest, that whisper that something's off. Because, Cub, that life isn't yours. You're playing a role you didn't choose. You kept going, just because they clapped. But when the applause stops, what's left of you? But one day, something cracked. No warning, no script, just a fracture. Maybe it was in the dead of night, maybe after a fight, or maybe there was nothing at all, just silence. And in that silence, you heard yourself for the very first time. You asked, is this it? Is this all there is? That moment was the beginning of the end. The role began to slip, the mask loosened, and for a second, you felt your real face beneath it. But then came fear. Of course it did. You had never seen that face before. You grew up showing them the version they approved, the safe version, the nice one. But let me tell you a secret, Cub. Fear is good. Fear is a blade, sharpened and cold. And if you hold it right, it doesn't cut you. It protects you. The problem is, you forgot how to hold it. Because they gave you toys instead, rewards, trophies, applause. And somewhere along the way, you forgot yourself. Now is the time to remember. To remember the ancient code buried inside your bones. The one passed down by men who survived without comfort, without permission. That code, it's still there. But this life you're living now, it can't go on. Not like this. Because everything they taught you, every rule, every value, every expectation, was designed to keep the mask on your face. And the moment you remove it, they'll stop loving you. At least that's the lie they whispered. So I ask you, cub, is it worth it? To be real and alone, to walk your own path and lose everyone along the way? It sounds terrifying, and it is. But it's also the first step to freedom. Yes, some will leave you. Some won't understand. Some will call you crazy. They'll say you've changed, that you're lost, broken. Let them, because the herd only loves those who stay in line, the quiet ones, the tame ones. But you're not one of them anymore. You've cracked. And through that crack, something new is growing. Uncomfortable, unpredictable, undeniable. A tension you can't explain, a restlessness no sleep can fix, a feeling deep in your chest that says, there must be more than this. And that feeling, it's not weakness, it's not confusion, it's not mental illness. It's your soul remembering who you were before they told you who to be. You've come to a crossroads, cub. Two paths stand before you. One takes you back to the mask, back to the applause, back to being the good man. The other breaks the mask, and for the first time, you become something real. It will hurt. You'll be alone. But you'll be free. Because a real man doesn't chase approval. A real man builds his own path. He doesn't live for someone else's pride. Doesn't work for a teacher's gold star. Doesn't wait for a woman's applause. Because he knows approval is a chain. Even if it shines like gold, it's still a chain. And a man walking in chains can never belong to himself. Now I'm going to reintroduce you to you. Close your eyes, cub, and imagine yourself 10,000 years ago, before the schools, before the suits, before the screens. You were not civilized. You were not nice. You were alive, a hunter, a survivor, a creature of instinct. You didn't ask for permission. You didn't apologize for breathing. And that version of you, he's still in there. Now, I want you to remember a fight, a real one, a time you got hit. Hard, a punch to the face, the kind that shut down the world for half a second. And if you've never been in a fight, don't worry. Your time will come. One day, you'll be pushed, pressed, broken. And in that moment, you'll understand everything I'm telling you now. But if you have fought, then remember the fear, the sting, the sound of blood in your ears. You were terrified, weren't you? Good. We all are. Even a dragon fears its rival. Fear is part of the process. But what matters, cub, is what comes next. That moment right after the hit, when your back straightens, when your jaw tightens, when your fists rise. That moment, that's who you are. That's the part of you they've tried to erase. The part that doesn't ask, that doesn't wait, that doesn't beg. The part that fights. They stole that from you. They stripped you of your instinct, your rawness, your natural defense. And what did they give you in return? Politeness, posture, emotional safety. They took your weapon and gave you a leash. And now, you're expected to smile while you slowly disappear. But that punch, cub, that moment, it wasn't the end of you. It was the beginning. It woke something ancient, something sacred. And now, it's time to bring it back. Here we are, the 21st century. No battles left to fight, no brotherhoods left to build, no future that belongs to us. What we once shared, we've lost. We've become individuals, scattered, disconnected, failed husbands, absent fathers, loyal consumers. And each day, we sink deeper into the swamp that sells you a picture of success, a curated dream, a perfect illusion. And you believed it. You made that illusion your goal. You made their stage life your real life. What a tragedy. But cub, there was one moment when the illusion shattered. That punch, do you remember it? The first blow you took, not just to the face, but to the soul. In that instant, you became real. You stopped thinking, stopped calculating, and let your instincts take over. That version of you, that was you. Raw, unfiltered, free. And that's what they stole from you. They took your warrior. They silenced your instinct. They numbed your fire and replaced it with comfort, compliance, control. They told you, don't raise your voice. Don't make anyone uncomfortable. Don't act too masculine. And you obeyed. Because you were trained to. Because you wanted to be accepted. Because you were afraid of rejection. But in doing so, you lost your edge. You became soft. You became acceptable. You became nothing. Now look around. Look at the men the world celebrates. Gym-polished but hollow. Handsome but hesitant. Well-dressed but soul-dead. These are not warriors, these are ornaments. And you, cub, you're not one of them. You came from something older, wilder, real. And that truth, it's still burning inside you. You just need to remember. You're ready now. No more illusions, no more roles. Here are the 4 rules, cub. Burn them into your mind. Etch them into your bones. Because this time, you're not playing a part. You're reclaiming your life. Rule 1. Never fight your instincts. What lives in you is ancient. Older than language. Older than fear. They told you to tame it, to suppress it, to be nice. But your instincts are not your enemy. They are your compass, your armor, your fire. You don't need to silence them. You need to trust them. Because that voice inside you, it was never wrong. You just stopped listening. Rule 2. Leave your comfort zone. It is your prison. They sold you comfort, warm homes, easy money, digital escape. They said, this is freedom. But that comfort is a cage, and every soft pillow, every mindless scroll, every convenience tightens the bars. Real strength is forged in struggle. Real men are carved in discomfort. Pain is the fire that makes you remember. So get cold, get tired, get uncomfortable. That's where you'll find yourself. Rule 3. Don't be ashamed of your masculinity. Protect it. They made you believe your power was dangerous, toxic, something to apologize for. But your masculine core is not a curse. It's a gift. It's not the problem. It's the solution. Your aggression, direction. Your silence, wisdom. Your presence, unshakable. Do not hide your edge. Sharpen it. Own it, live it. Rule 4. Find your purpose and bleed for it. A man without purpose is not a man. He is a shadow, a leaf in the wind, a puppet. But a man with purpose? He becomes unstoppable. So ask yourself, what are you building? What are you fighting for? What are you willing to lose to finally win? It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's yours. These are not rules to follow. These are truths to return to. The world lied to you, but your body never did. You don't need a new version of yourself, cub. You need the original. If one day you find yourself alone, if no one understands you anymore, if everyone turns their back, congratulations. It means you've started to become yourself. It will hurt. Of course it will. But manhood is the ability to choose the pain that sets you free. Freedom requires sacrifice. And comfort must be the first to burn, because a real man does not beg to be seen. He does not wait to be liked. He does not bend to be accepted. He walks. He builds. He fights. He lives for no one's applause. He knows. Approval is a chain. Even when it's made of gold, it still binds the soul. And a man in chains can never belong to himself. So listen closely, cub. If you feel confused, if you feel lost, if your soul itches and you don't know why, don't ignore it. Don't medicate it. Don't mute it with noise. Because that ache you feel, that restlessness inside, is not weakness. It's memory. It's instinct. It's your true self begging to be awakened. And now, you're waking up. The stage is gone. The mask is off. The script is ash. And what's left is you. The boy who fought. The man who broke. The wolf who remembers. You were never part of the herd. You were always meant to run with us. And now you're home. Remember, a man either becomes himself or becomes a ghost applauded by strangers. Today, you choose. Rip the script, break the leash, write your own story. We are here. The Wolves Club is waiting. Silas Rayne has spoken. Now it's your move, cub.